Hi all. Now we are going to discuss on how to find out the RMS value. There are two methods are there, the analytical method and the other one is the mid-ordinate method. First we are going ahead with the mid-ordinate method. It is also known as the graphical method. So RMS value we have already seen that it is related to the heating effect. So heating effect, it is nothing but proportional to the square of the current. Now first what we are trying to do is that we are going to have a waveform like this. And the time period of this particular signal is t. And since the positive and the negative half cycles are the same, we will be taking only one particular half cycle. Now let us call that particular half cycle it as t dash. Now we will divide this t dash time period into number of intervals. Let n be the number of intervals. And that means each interval will be equal to t dash by n. Where n is the total number of intervals. Now we will be drawing one mid-ordinate here, 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 here. So if you are increasing the number of intervals, then we will be getting an accurate value. Now we are assuming that this current value is I1, this is I2, this is I3, etc. up to IN. So this is that particular waveform which is having n number of intervals. Now the heat energy produced in the first interval is nothing but it is I1 square. So this I1 square R into T dash by N. It is only for T dash by N time period. So that many joules. Similarly, heat energy produced during the second interval will be I2 square. I2 square into R into T dash by N. Then for the nth interval, it will be IN square R T1 dash by N. That many joules. So the total heat energy which is produced in all the n intervals will be nothing but W is nothing but R into T dash by N into I1 square plus I2 square plus etc. up to IN square. Let capital I represents the RMS value of the alternating current. So when current flows through the same resistance R, for T dash seconds, then the heat energy produced by this current I will be equal to I square into R into T dash joules. So now I am having two equations. This is equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. Now what we will be trying to do is that we will be trying to equate 1 and 2 equations. So this is how we can write I square R into T dash is equal to R into T dash into I1 square plus I2 square etc. up to IN square divided by N. Now we can remove this R and T dash. So it will be equivalent to I square will be equal to mean of the square of the instantaneous current. Then RMS value will be equal to root of the mean of the square of the instantaneous values of the currents. This is how we are calculating the root mean square value of a particular current. Similarly, for the voltage also we can represent the RMS value of the voltage will be equal to root of E1 square plus E2 square etc. up to En square divided by N. It all depends upon whether we are taking a current waveform or we are taking a voltage waveform. If we are taking a voltage waveform, it will be E or V. For that, we will be calculating the instantaneous values. So this is how we are arriving at the graphical method, and it is using the mid-ordinate method or the graphical method. And this is generally chosen when it is very difficult to find out the equation for a particular waveform. Now, when the waveform equation is known to us, or we can write a particular mathematical equation for a waveform, then we won't be going ahead with the mid-ordinate method. We will be using the integral method. Now, this is a waveform. and this waveform is a current waveform, which is a sinusoidal waveform, and I is given as Im sin theta. In the mid-ordinate method, what we were trying to do is that we have the waveform, this is t dash, and we are dividing it into n sections, and this each period is t dash by n, and then multiplying it by the I1 squared. So each one I2 squared into t dash by n into the resistance, like that we are calculating. So if this n is made very large, then these time periods will be very less. So that will help in finding an accurate value. So what we are trying generally, it is that it is nothing but the area of the half cycle waveform, which is a squared one, that is I1 square. So a squared waveform's area we are taking, and that is being divided by the base length. Trying to apply the same principle here. Now this waveform is I is equal to Im sin theta. I is equal to Im sin theta. Now we will be taking the squared waveform. So in the positive half cycle we are squaring, and negative half cycle we are squaring. So this is how a squared waveform is appearing. Since this negative part, when we are squared, we are getting the positive part like this. So this is the squared waveform. Now with that we are trying to find out the RMS value using the integral method. So this is I1 square is nothing but Im square sin square theta. So equation of squared waveform we are writing. Then the RMS value is nothing but mean of the squares of the instantaneous values of the current over the first half cycle is nothing but area of the first half cycle of the squared waveform divided by its base. You have your squared waveform is like this. So since you already know the waveform equation I is equal to Im sin theta, so the integration will give you the area of the first half cycle of the squared waveform. So this was 0, this is pi, this is 2 pi. So we are taking only one half cycle. So 0 to pi I square d theta divided by pi. So that is nothing but 1 by pi integral 0 to pi Im square sin square theta d theta. Now we are doing the general mathematical integration. You can just observe it, pause it for a minute, and watch how you are arriving at this. And at the end, you will be getting it as the RMS value is equal to I is nothing but Im divided by root 2, which is nothing but 0.707 Im. Im divided by root 2 equal to 0.707 Im. So the IRMS is equal to Im by root 2. This is only for a sinusoidal waveform. This is not for any other waveform. IRMS is equal to Im by root 2 is only for sinusoidal waveform. So whenever you are getting a question and you are asked to find out the RMS value of a triangular waveform, do not write that the RMS value is Im by root 2, because IRMS is equal to Im by root 2 is applicable only to a sinusoidal waveform. So in general, for any kind of waveform, you can write it like this. IRMS is nothing but root of 1 by t into integral 0 to t I square d theta. Similarly, ERMS can also be written as 1 by t integral 0 to t e square d theta. Now we are going to discuss on the average value. So the average value of an alternating quantity, it can be defined as the steady direct current, that is the DC current, which will be transferred across any circuit the same amount of the charge. So here we are dealing with the charge as it transferred by an alternating current during the same period of time. That is, an alternating quantity. The average value is defined as the steady direct current which transfers across the same circuit, same amount of charge as it is transferred by an alternating current during the same time. Here also we have the mid-ordinate method. So we have seen how we are taking the mid-ordinate. So I average is nothing but I1 plus I2 plus I3 etc. up to IN divided by N. So this is simply the average method. Next method is the analytical method. And in case of a symmetrical AC, if you are taking, this is an AC waveform. If you are taking a complete AC waveform and if you are finding the average value, then the average value will be 0 because positive and negative cycles are the same. And therefore, under such conditions, we will be taking only one half cycle. So we will be considering only one particular half cycle. So if the area under the first half cycle, positive cycle, and the negative half cycle are the same, then we will be considering only one particular cycle. So the sinusoidal current it is I is equal to Im sin theta, and I average or average value of an alternating quantity of any quantity is given by area under the half cycle divided by the length. So here the length is pi. So the length is pi over here. Area under the half cycle, it is nothing but the integration. So integral 0 to pi I d theta. In our earlier case, it was I square. We were having a square term. Here we are taking the waveform as it is. So it is I d theta divided by pi. So Im sin theta, I is nothing but Im sin theta. Then the simple integration equations, we will be getting it as 2 Im divided by pi. Therefore, for a sinusoidal waveform, the average value is 2 Im by pi. It is equal to 0.637 Im. It is 0.637 Im. Similarly, for the voltage waveform also, V average will be 2 Vm by pi. So this is applicable only to a sinusoidal waveform. So if you are asked to find out the average value of a triangular waveform or any other waveform other than sinusoidal waveform, do not write it as 0.637 Im. There we need to calculate. Here it is being calculated for I is equal to Im sin theta because it is a sinusoidal waveform. So for any sinusoidal quantity, we can take it as 2 Im by pi or 0.637 Im. So now we have seen how we can find out the RMS value and the average value by using the equations, and what we have done so far is finding it for a sinusoidal waveform. Now the next lecture we will be seeing different factors related to the average values and the maximum values, and then we will look into the problems, numerical problems, how we can find out the average and RMS values of waveforms other than sinusoidal waveform. Thank you.